Getting ready to pass landmark legislation to cut down on pollution of 1 million heavy-duty trucks. But truckers complain these new rules are too expensive, especially in these tough economic times. KTV's Claudine Wong joins us now with more from San Leandro. Good afternoon, Claudine.
Good afternoon, Tori. Yes, this vote is set for Friday in Sacramento, and it is expected to pass. The landmark regulations will certainly bring cleaner air, but trucking companies say it could put them out of business in the process. Now, Rogers Trucking has been in business for more than 40 years. It's based in San Leandro and has been through some rough times, but the company, which has 168 employees and 150 trucks, says it's not sure it will survive this. The company says it, too, wants clean air, but it also needs more time to make changes.
We typically purchase good quality used equipment because it fits our needs. We don't travel that far. We're just Northern California. But the debt burden to buy brand new equipment and to retrofit everything would just probably put us out of business.
The new regulation would affect about 1 million heavy-duty diesel trucks that travel California roads. The regulation requires trucking companies to either replace or retrofit their rigs starting in 2010 and continuing through 2022. The California Air Resource Board votes on the regulation on Friday and says it will save almost 10,000 premature deaths, improve air quality, and reduce greenhouse gases.
It is the biggest and most important area of unregulated toxic air pollution out there today. We've tackled everything from school buses to garbage trucks in the past. We've worked on locomotives. We've worked, of course, on vehicles extensively and cleaned them up dramatically from what they were years ago. But these big rigs on the roads are still spewing out the same emissions that they did back in the 1950s, and the time has come to clean them up.
Nearly 7 out of every 10 Californians still is breathing air that fails to meet federal health standards, and this is going to take a huge chunk out of that problem.
Trucking companies we talked to question the timing of what will be an expensive transition. Retrofitting each truck could cost $12,000 to $15,000, replacing one about $100,000. The Air Resource Board says there will be $1 billion in funding opportunities. It's money Rogers Trucking has already applied for its fleet. Still, the new regulation still means a lot of money out of pocket, and when truckers have already battled high fuel prices on this rough economic road, some say this is just too much, too fast.
We're going to have to wait and see. It's going to be a tremendous challenge. Maybe we'll have to cut back our operation, lay some people off, just take the loads that pay the most and are most efficient for us.
As far as what we know about our regulations, we've seen that they actually create jobs. In this instance, they will be creating work for firms that do the retrofits. They're creating work for people who manufacture the particle traps that are going to be put on these old trucks, and they'll be creating income for people who sell the newer trucks as well. So the net effect on the economy is a very positive one.
Again, the vote is Friday, and while it is expected to pass, the board chair says it's going to keep a close eye on the economy, and they will amend the timeline if the economy does not get better soon. Live in San Leandro, Claudine Wong, KTVU, Channel 2 News.
加装了氢氧能源设备的公车，利用把水分解成氧气和氢气的设备，让公车引擎产生更大的运作效能。
439辆车，一年我们可以帮它节省了大概3000吨左右的 CO2， 因为我们节省了15%到20%的油，那根据这个油把它推算回来，就可以算出3000吨左右这样的一个 CO2。
传统的柴油公车因为引擎燃烧不完全，不但油耗增加，排出的二氧化碳浓度也比较高。现在氢油节能车有氢氧气的助燃，油气完全燃烧又节能又环保。而由公车驾驶们实地体验，车辆的马力和扭力感觉上也有提升。高雄市的氢油节能公车测试上路，在效益评估过后，如果顺利，渴望全面换装氢氧能源系统，在减少二氧化碳的排放上，又往前跨出了一大步。民视新闻郑博威、郑兆佐，高雄市报道。
For over 3 years, with somewhat spectacular results. Lower fuel costs, increased power, cleaner exhaust emissions, and longer engine life. The Empire Hydrogen Fuel Enhancement System can reduce fuel consumption in a vehicle's engine by as much as 10 to 25% and more, while increasing overall performance. Exhaust emissions are not only proportionately lower, but much cleaner due to more complete combustion of the fuel. Sure. How does it work? The answer is hydrogen, the simplest and most abundant element in the universe. In a four-cycle engine, a mixture of vaporized fuel and air is ignited in sequence in each cylinder chamber, causing enormous pressure. Pistons are forced down to turn the engine's crankshaft, then rise to expel exhaust gases. The less fuel that is used, and the more completely it's burned, the fewer harmful exhaust emissions are produced. And this is where hydrogen comes in. Adding a small amount of hydrogen and oxygen to the air-fuel mixture increases the flame speed during combustion. This results in complete burning of the fuel, higher performance, and cleaner exhaust. Less fuel is consumed, resulting in better gas mileage and a further reduction in overall carbon emissions. The Empire Hydrogen Fuel Enhancement System produces the optimum amount of hydrogen required on demand by the electrolysis of water. A pulsing DC current is passed through distilled water treated with a conductive chemical electrolyte. The water releases its two component elements as hydrogen and oxygen gas. This gaseous mixture is dried and piped into the air intake of the engine. No modification whatsoever is made to the engine, but the results are astounding.
Originally when I'd fill up, I'd get about just over 400 kilometers to a tank. And then after the unit went on, it went up to as high as 475. Not only that, but the power, the extra power that I had for like when I have a heavy load, like when I'm maxed out my GVW, if I go up any type of incline, you know, say over 6 or 7%, I'm barely doing the speed limit. But with that unit on, I don't even notice it anymore.
Obviously, the ideal market for this innovative product
in an
is
attempt
the
to beat high fuel prices.
Hydromotion says its hydrogen generator helps burn every last drop of gas or diesel that you put in your tank. CBS 47's Tony Body shows us a local trucking company that's giving the product a shot.
It's a hydrogen generator, and it gets its charge from regular old mineral water.
Just going to sit here. It's holding about 16 right now.
The way it works is pretty simple.
It creates hydrogen from water by separating it with electrolysis.
In other words, it takes the H out of H2O. The hydrogen combines with diesel to completely burn every ounce of fuel in the system.
People are leery of alternatives like this because they believe you're burning water. You're not. You're burning the components of water, elemental forms of hydrogen and oxygen.
And Mark Roberts of Hydromotion says maintenance is a breeze.
The only thing that you have to worry about is when the light on the inside goes out, you need to put more water in the blue tank.
That's when it, now would it be in effect immediately?
Yeah.
So that's when this thing normally does black smoke is when you fire it up.
Yeah, and you don't see any, do you?
Not a bit.
Welcome to HHO. This is a 10-wheel dump truck. Yep. This is the mag drive triple brick in production. And we're about to see. Hallelujah. Well, a little bit. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Now, normally that early on, when you threw on it, it would just be solid black.
Cool.
And once it warms up, it's a pretty clean running diesel. But when it's cold, it'll normally smoke good.
So you're impressed?
Yeah, I am.
Outstanding. So no black soot.
Send him a text.
Kevin, can you rev its tits off, please?
White sheet in there.
Yeah, go on. You got what,
Yeah, go on.
Can you bring it up?
Does that look clean to you, Roger?
This? Yeah, the only dirt on it's
The engines that are used today use diesel fuel. Diesel is a dirty fuel. There are clean alternative methods that are out there, and that's where Dynacert is providing an alternative solution by cleaning up the emissions. Hydrogen provides a cleaner burn, and by providing a cleaner burn, you're providing a cleaner atmosphere. In the case of Fortune 500 giant Pepsi, we retrofitted a fleet of over 200 transport trucks with our patented hydrogen technology. These hydrogen-injected trucks operated 2 shifts per day, 200,000 miles per year. Pepsi achieved an average of 15% fuel savings. That's huge. That's over 800,000 gallons saved, and based on today's prices, represents over $3.3 million saved in 1 year. So based on that success alone with Pepsi, we're now
by 80%. Would you believe them?
Well, a local trucking company did, and now they are spreading the word that it actually works. What they're calling a breakthrough in hydrogen technology. In our Tech Fest report.
With 250 semis on the road across the East Coast to as far west as Denver, Walker-based Equity Transportation is considered a major. Clients like Steelcase, Hayward, and Meyer. So it's probably no surprise that somebody's always trying to sell them something, claiming it'll save some fuel.
We like to call them snake oil salesmen.
They almost never work. But then came Jim.
And all we're doing is adding enough hydrogen to burn that dollar's worth of diesel that you just bought. Instead of 87 cents or 86 cents, you're burning 99.5, 99.9 cents.
They started with 10 test units bolted onto existing trucks in their fleet, some with high mileage.
When we put this thing on, the thing just took off and started running, and I couldn't believe the results.
Results, they say, were confirmed independently with dyno tests at the local W.W. Williams Service Center and emissions tests at Iowa State. Fuel mileage went from the low 6s to the high 8s. Emissions cut by 80%, meeting those stricter standards for the year 2014. And the life expectancy of their motor oil tripled. How does it work?
What it is, we have a 1.8 liter bottle of water here. The water goes through the reactor. It separates the hydrogen and the oxygen in gas form, pipes it in down the gas hose into the intake manifold.
Sort of like a nitrous system on a race car, adding a wisp of hydrogen that helps burn every bit of fuel in the combustion cycle.
Now that's important for the guys that are riding in the cab, because right now trucking's only got a margin of about 5 or 6%. When you can burn the entire contents of that fuel tank right there instead of pouring it up.
A water boost is it's an on-demand hydrogen fuel system for the van.
And what will that do to the van?
It will make it beautiful.
What, shiny and new?
At the inside of the engine, yes. But it will hopefully increase my fuel economy, increase my power. It will keep my engine clean. It will completely combust the fuel, so it'll reduce my emissions. And it will mean that my van is partially being run on water, which is cool.
Can you start it up, Dave? Shows the pig being a pig. Just give it a blab.
That was smoky fantastic.
You're not putting the lid on? Yeah, put it on now. Come on, Darren, try and make it smoky.
Okay.
No.
Smells a bit, but can we do some more?